evening, everybody, and welcome so much to our special culinary edition of Waterfall Live. I am your hostess this evening, special guest, Empress 19 of the Imperial Court of the Waterfall Empire, Chantal DuValdez, and I am so excited to be here today. And they have left me unattended, so you're all in my hands. Okay, so we're just going to keep this going right along, and we're going to start with our land acknowledgements. The city of Hamilton and surrounding areas is situated upon the traditional territories of Erie, Neutral, Huron, Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. We fully acknowledge that this land is covered by the Between the Lakes Purchase of 1792 between the Crown and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nations. Today, the city of Hamilton and surrounding areas are home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we recognize that we must do more to learn about this rich history of this land so that we can better understand our roles as residents, neighbors, partners, and caretakers. We stand in solidarity with murdered Indigenous women, girls, transgender, and two-spirited people. Okay, and moving right along again, we are now going to talk about our charities. So the reminder that this year's reign, our charities are Pride Niagara, Spectrum Waterloo Region's Rainbow Community Services, the Indian Center, and McMaster's Children's Hospital Adolescent Medicine Outpatient Gender Diversity Clinic. So, and those are some great worthy charities for us to be raising money for again. So I am on my own, so there may be mistakes made, mess-ups may happen, so just bear with me. I hope you really enjoy the show today. As we all know, this month has been AIDS Awareness Month. This past week is also, we've had Indigenous AIDS Awareness Week, and yesterday was AIDS Awareness Day, so we took the time to remember those that we have lost and the battle that we are still fighting to this day. We've decided to play a video today. Many of you may have heard the expression of U equals U, untransmittable, undetectable equals untransmittable. So we've decided to show you a little video that may help to clarify what that means. I hope you all enjoyed that video. So we are about to bring on our guests. I told them 15 minutes. I'm a liar. So who do we have in the audience today? I want to see some comments. What are you doing for dinner? Are you hungry? I hope you are, because we're going to make some delicious risotto. So let's bring on our special guests then. We have the beautiful Empress from Rhode Island, Savannah Devereaux. And of course,
hello,
the gorgeous, stunning Empress Nikki Chin. Hi, everybody. Nikki, you're muted. There you go. So how are you both? You look great.
Thank you. So do you.
We look like a random couple in the woods. Like
We just came in from logging.
Like the beginning of the horror movie.
Pretty much. I'm probably going to be the first to be killed. So
this is because I literally was asleep 20 minutes ago. I had grand ambitions to be in full, beautiful Christmas drag, and the universe was like, it's not going to happen. That.
So I just went with Harry Queen weirdness. Nothing wrong with that.
Same. I was napping about 20 minutes ago as well, and then
it's fun. Yeah,
I just wrapped my hair up in a bun and came on live.
Lunch lady realness right there. Okay, so I see that we have some comments. Oh, Jason Jones is also thinking about having risotto.
Unless he wants.
Well, I hope so.
Okay, so why don't we get right started to it? So we had posted a basic recipe online on risotto. I know nothing for risotto, as you know. So what is the first step that we're going to start with?
The what?
First step.
Oh, the first step.
Numero uno.
So first, okay. So I'm going to let everybody know. I'm gonna make butternut squash risotto.
Ooh. I love a vegetarian option.
Yeah, and Savannah, you're making.
She's fire right now, making fire.
What kind of risotto are you making, Savannah? I'm already.
Okay, well, we're having a bit of a technical issue, so we'll let her get that figured out.
Okay.
So
one of the first.
Am I back?
No worries.
You're there.
What kind of risotto are you making?
Mushroom.
Oh, yay! Oh,
yay! Stephanie Bice
I switched because I realized that with the scallops and my gout is probably not a good idea. I love scallops, but they don't love my body. So.
Oh, well, I wish you would have told me. I would have done the scallops then, but that's okay. I'm doing butternut squash risotto, and you can find the recipe on my YouTube channel, Cooking with Chin.
Nice.
Yes. It's so great. Like, I love going back there and seeing all the different things. I made a few things you made this summer.
Oh,
so
really?
Yummy.
Yeah. I go back to them when I run out of things to make, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, I want to make this again, and I go back with them. So
you go back and watch your own videos so that you can see how you did it and stuff too. And just talk about how hot the cook is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so step number 1, what do we do? I am a complete novice. I know nothing.
Well, I always take a big stainless steel pan, a deep dish stainless steel pan, and I do it all in one pot. That's what the best thing about risotto is that everything happens all in one. So I'm heating this up to medium heat.
My Dutch oven.
Oh, you use a Dutch oven? Yeah, perfect. Exactly. As long as
it's good for heat.
Exactly. Heat distribution, and the deeper the better.
When I used to date, I used to be with a man once. And he used to offer me Dutch ovens all the time, but I don't think. No, not saying that.
It might have been a different version, but it's definitely as pungent, I would say.
Yeah, that would definitely. Pungent.
It has its aroma. It has its aroma.
A certain evanescence.
Exactly.
If you will, yes.
So you're cooking with vegetable stock or chicken stock, whatever you choose to use. I'm using vegetable stock that I made. So I always keep it on the stove. You can't see it right now. I always keep it on the stove.
It should be warm when you add it to your rice.
On a simmer, because it needs to be warm when it hits the rice, not cold. Because then it's going to change the temperature.
Otherwise, it won't pull the right amount of starch out that you need to make it almost as if you put heavy cream in something that doesn't have any cream in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I've heard about risotto before. You don't normally put cream in it, right? It's the starch from the.
No, it's just the rice. It's a science project. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Risotto's very interesting.
But let's do it on TV live and let's see how it goes.
we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. I think the last time I did cooking live was with Anita Waistline.
I love her.
Out of Buffalo.
Fantastic name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we did an instant pot. It was at the beginning of lockdown, of COVID lockdown, back in April of 2000 and God knows when. So that was fun.
Did you get the air fryer top yet, Nikki?
Huh?
Did you get the air fryer
Oh,
top?
you did
here?
talk about that on one of your shows.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Because you didn't have room for it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Hi, Donna Jenkins. Thank you for joining us today. I miss
Donna
you.
Jenkins. Hello.
Oh, love that lady. You don't get enough of her and her gorgeous accent. Hi, y'all.
So I'm just adding my shallots right now. Shallots are great for. Hi, Steph. How are
Hi,
you?
Stephanie. I'm not breaking anything. I haven't gone on camera yet.
We're only 15 minutes in. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we've already have 911 on speed dial. Just in case.
Exactly.
Oh, so what were you saying, Nikki? Sorry about that.
So I added my shallots. What shallots are good for? It's like a milder onion.
Yeah, if you don't use onion, use shallots.
Yeah, it's like when you go from like chives to green onions to shallots. Like it goes from like the lightest to the more potent.
Mhm.
You can use like a white Vidalia. Is that Vidalia onion?
Yeah.
Chopped very, very fine. But shallots are the best for this. You get more bang for your buck, I feel.
Correct.
And they're more flavorful. The white onion is like flavored less. Yeah, but the shallots are more flavorful.
That's what you put on McDonald's burgers. Ooh, lovely.
So the reason why we put it on medium heat is because you don't want them to cook right away. They'll burn.
I love how I'm moving closer, like somehow I'm inside the pot.
As if we'll be able to see it, yeah.
I don't have any logic to my brains, as you know.
What do you cook, Chantal?
Reservations.
Bacon.
That's my girl.
Bacon with a side of bacon? Is that a thing?
It's fine. That's keto. That's what the children do now. It's keto.
Yeah, keto. Yes, Taylor Davis will appreciate that. DJJ, I'm thinking about you.
Is that the wine you're supposed to be putting in the recipe there, madam?
No, I already have some here.
Oh, and I use cooking wine in the house a lot, but as most people out there know, I do not drink anymore. Yeah. And a nice substitute, which I'll be using tonight, is white grape juice for white wine. White grape juice will give you the same acidity and the tiniest bit of sweetness that'll balance out anything that's really savory. I will use white grape juice or sometimes apple cider vinegar that I cut in half with water instead of white wine.
The vinegar I would have predicted, but I would not have predicted grape juice.
Yeah.
That's a great tip.
Yep. Because you get that same bite as you would from wine because it's grapes.
Now online, I posted a Boreal rice. Is that the kind of rice you're both using?
Yes. Yes, madame. That is the only one that will pull the starch. The other ones will just become like congee. It's basically what you're going to make.
That's right.
Is that also the kind you put in your boobies when you're making?
That I've never done that. I have a very fantastic story about that. Miss Empress Ginger Ale from Rhode Island used to use rice boobies, which is just rice in the pantyhose. And we did an event. This is easily 15-ish, 18 years ago, and it was at an outdoor pool. So Ginger Ale swam around in the pool, and then after an afternoon in the sun, decided to just cut her boob open, and it was cooked rice. Oh, yeah. Whereupon she ate it. And that's a true story.
Okay, did anybody eat it? Hi, Victor.
That's crazy. I've never, and it's actually surprising. I've never used rice for boobs. I always did like the inside of pillow, like pillow insides. You can mold them. They're lighter. And they're cheap because like if you're gonna throw away a pillow, just like take it all out and make a brand new bra, and you can put more in, you can put less in, and it's great.
Back in the day, we used to sew it into some dresses had like the pocket that you we would just put it in there, sew it up, and there's your boob.
Actually, I think Robin Daring actually did that to some dresses. So what is are we still on the same step with the onions, or what happens next? I'm really excited.
So I threw in my garlic. So the garlic only takes about a minute to saute.
Don't burn it,
or else it becomes bitter.
Hello, Empress Rochelle. Thank you for joining us this evening. Your presence always makes everything warmer. It's a weird thing to say, isn't it? Warmer, glowier, sunnier. What's the word I'm looking for?
All of the above. All of the above.
Excellent.
What do you do after the garlic, Savannah? Is that when you do your rice?
What is it on?
Is that when you do your rice? Right
I
after
do the rice and I do the wine, and then I let the wine evaporate, and then I start to very slowly. Yeah.
And the butter.
And the butter, because you want the rice to absorb the butter a little bit.
Yeah. So so we're not putting any liquid into the risotto before we put the rice in, because actually we want to toast the rice.
Correct.
So it opens the grain up before we actually start adding in the liquid. So we're gonna throw this in. Yeah. And what's gonna happen? Like if you make risotto for the first time, the rice is gonna stick to your pan because you're not using a non-stick pan. It's gonna get stuck to the bottom, but that's okay.
Yep.
It's okay.
It's just the starch cooking. That's all it is. And then once you put liquid in it, it's called deglazing the pan, which will then lift up everything that's stuck on the bottom up, and it'll actually give it more flavor.
Wow, you sure are smart.
Things when they say it got stuck, I said you moved it too soon. You have to let the pan will tell you when to move it.
Yep.
That's not something I would have known.
Yeah.
So Savannah, I know that you have a special connection with cooking. Do you want to tell us a little bit why cooking is so special for you?
I do. I love cooking only because it's twofold. I think it reminds me of my grandmother, who every single thing that she cooked, I was just enamored with. And the funny thing is, since she passed, I use recipes from that book over there that she did for years, and it does not taste the same. It is the same exact recipe. It'll never ever taste the same.
Yeah.
I, from a very young age, used to have cooking classes, but she would be cooking, and then I would have like half an onion with like an old, like a knife that wouldn't cut water. But I'd be next to her just cutting up things, and she'd be showing me how to do different things. And she always said that to cook for someone you love is one of the greatest things you can do in life. Just because you're passing along something that you love to do, and maybe like a family tradition that you like to, show to someone. So food to cook for people, for me, it's a very, it's an intimate thing. If I cook for you, that means I love you. I don't cook for everybody, but if I do, it's tied to that history of, where our people came from and where our traditions were, and those times in the kitchen with her, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can have that same relationship with cooking. People who really love to cook in some way. Food is love. We nurture. We love to give. Nikki, how about you? You've got busted.
Save some for the arboreal rice.
Oh, I hope someone got a screenshot of that, because that would be great.
That would be fun.
I got 2 bottles of white wine just so I could cook with half a bottle of wine.
Boozy rice, Nikki G.
So, Nikki, why don't you tell us a bit about your connection with food?
So my connection with food is it spans from my family. I'm half Filipino, half Italian, and I grew up cooking. That was the first thing I ever learned. The first thing I ever learned was, how to roll dough, how to cut an onion, how to melt butter, how to whatever it was, right? Mm-hmm. This was all before even how I knew how to do laundry, how I knew how to do read and write, pretty much. I was always there with my grandmother, with my grandfather, my father, my mother, all of us cooking, always family style meals and everything. We would never cook for less than 2 people because that was not part of our measurements. Our measurements were always 18 cups of this and 400 pounds of this.
Yeah. And you measure that stuff with your heart.
I cook for 20 people. There's one person in this house. Yeah. I'll be like, who's eating with me?
Yeah. You have this smorgasbord of food, or this massive I just put 2 cups of rice in here, and I'm like, this is gonna be good for 5-6 days for Jason and I. But that's what's great about cooking is that so when I first moved to Toronto, I didn't really cook for myself because I didn't have much money to invest in cooking. So I always did takeout. I always bought out. But it wasn't until recently, in the past 5-6 years, or not 5-6 years, 7-8 years, that I actually started cooking everything. And to tell you the truth, everybody who is listening, whoever gets takeout all the time, this is so much cheaper. This is honestly all I had to buy for this was the butternut squash and the wine. I had rice, I had onion, I had shallot, I had garlic, I had my vegetable stock. I made it before. Like, this is stuff that you can always keep around in your house.
Correct.
And risotto is also one of those things that you can add, like you can add ingredients too. Like you can make it a shrimp risotto, you can make scallops, you can make it anything.
Believe it or not, I have had a dessert risotto before at an Italian restaurant in Boston. They do, it's like a chocolate risotto, and they put like salted caramel pieces on the top of it to die for. It's like the most decadent rice pudding you've ever had. That's exactly what it was like.
For dessert risottos, as Savannah is saying, that's when you put cream into your risotto.
Okay.
Because it makes it heavier, makes it richer, makes it just in that family. You wouldn't put chicken stock and salt and white and and garlic. Like, put that in that risotto. It's just a different way of cooking it, right? So so the long and short of risotto is that it's just the slowest way to cook your rice, but make it so flavorful and so delicious. Just like your standard, Uncle Ben's 5-minute rice.
And when you cook for yourself, you can also control those things like sodium, like fat, like
exactly.
So in my opinion, fat is flavor because I'm a flavorful lady.
And this is not good for you.
They call it the death dish. It's fine. That's fine.
Actually, I did that. I looked that up online when I was picking a dish, and it said death dish. I said, that's what we're making.
Yeah, this is not good for you. This is very high in fat, high in sodium. You're just having rice. It's whatever else you put in it. That's what makes it healthy. The shrimp would make it healthy. The scallops would make it healthy. The butternut squash makes it healthy. Risotto in itself is butter, starch, salt, and just deliciousness.
That's here at the Waterfall Empire. We like to really kind of push that health button. But it's delicious. You're correct, Jason Jones.
Exactly.
As long as you don't eat it every day, you're fine. It's like when at the holidays when people are like, "This is a bacon wrapped, cheese dipped, deep fried, covered in chocolate." Yeah, have it because you're not having that every day.
Right. Spoil yourself once in a while. Don't have it every single day.
Yeah.
Like these people that work out, I always say, if you crave fried chicken, have a piece of fried chicken. You don't have to eat the whole bucket. Have a piece of fried chicken or a slice of pizza because your body says, "I want a pizza.
I want it."
Yeah.
So right now, I'm just slowly putting in my stock and cooking the rice.
Same.
I've done the wine already, as you saw.
Yeah.
I did. I promise. It all almost went in there.
You got you on camera.
Yeah, most of it is in there, so that's the whole point of it.
All right.
One for the pan, one for me.
Right. I use actually just to go back to the wine. I use a Sauvignon Blanc. I'm not a huge fan of Chardonnays. A lot of people use Chardonnays because it's buttery. But I would rather put more butter in than anything. Right. I like to drink Sauvignon Blancs.
And use the wine that you would drink. Don't use a cheap wine. Use something that's you love.
Don't use a crap wine that somebody gave you as a housewarming gift that they probably were given from another housewarming gift. Like don't use that one. Use one that you'll actually drink afterwards or during.
Yeah, I had a roommate that used to be a professional chef, and he used to say, if you're going to cook with wine, you want to be able to serve that wine with it.
Exactly.
That actually enhances it. So that's something I learned. I don't cook it; I just drink it. Okay. So while I have your attention, so this seems to be like you have a few minutes here. So what do you have coming up in your lives? Court, non-court, hobbies?
This weekend is a nightmare. Well, not nightmare. It's a lot. I shouldn't say nightmare. That sounds awful.
That's more.
I have this, which I love. Tomorrow night, one of my best and oldest friends is coming up here from New York City to do a show at a theater that we grew up at, performing at rather, to do his Christmas show in drag, and I'm part of that show, which is great. He toured the entire country doing Jersey Boys. He did Oklahoma. He was on Broadway in Jersey Boys. He was on Broadway in Beautiful, the Carole King musical. So he's coming up here to do a whole song and dance kind of show. And him and I we're singing Sisters from White Christmas.
Oh, fun.
And then Saturday, I have a show that we have been doing for years that a Marine started actually at one of the gay bars up coast kind of to Boston. And it's a Toys for Tots event. And we've done it for years now. And he passed away, has since passed, but we still continue to do it. And we are the #1 Toys for Tots fundraiser in the entire state of Massachusetts. We give thousands upon thousands upon thousands of toys and money. It's incredible. So that's on Saturday night. And that's just the first weekend in December.
Actually, I'm going to take a minute here because I actually forgot about something myself that I was supposed to mention earlier. We too here at the Waterfall Empire, as per myself, we do our yearly outerwear, toiletry, and food fund. I can't speak anymore. I haven't been drinking the wine. So we were doing our holiday drive. Usually, I try to aim for the things like the toiletries, the outerwear, the feminine products, stuff like that. But what I've been informed is that, unfortunately, because of this pandemic, more people than ever are reaching out to the AIDS Network, and their emergency cupboards are bare. So for those of you out there that can, we are looking for donations, non-perishable items, outerwear, blankets, toiletries, of course. You can contact myself or Stephanie to make arrangements. We will arrange to pick up. If you'd rather make a cash donation, you can send that to waterfallempire@gmail.com or paypal.me/waterfallempire. Just make sure you earmark it, donation for holiday drive, and I'll make sure that we put that to good use and we get to see the people that need it. The AIDS Network here, they have 2 vans. They go around where they pass out items, and they're really out there to help. And as a community, we need to be there for them. So, I just wanted to put that out there. Completely forgot to mention it earlier. My apologies. So you know where to find me.
Love it.
Okay, and back to our regular scheduled program. Where are we at now?
This is the longest process, is having to put the stock in here. So I'm only half cooked right now.
Oh, okay.
But like, you always want to put a scoop of stock in there and let it absorb almost fully. Right. And then add another scoop and just keep doing that and just keep stirring. It's like exactly as how Savannah is posing right now is the way you make risotto. You literally put one arm down and you just do this.
It's like you're just waiting for your left hand.
It's like making cheese sauce. It's the same thing. You just keep doing this. You add a little bit more. You keep doing this. You add a little bit more.
And I would say it's about like a 1/4 cup increments. I do half a ladle every single time I do it.
Why so slow? I don't have patience for that.
Well,
but it's so worth it.
Pull the most starch out of it as you can. You also want to. There are people that will put all 4 cups in and do it fast. No, I would never. No. But I mean,
never.
It's like people that are like, this is a 5-minute risotto recipe. I'm like, how? Where?
That doesn't exist.
Who's
doesn't exist?
What are you talking about? Yeah. It's like, I went to a 10-minute coronation. No, you didn't.
Yeah. The thing is with arboreal rice is that it's a thick grain. You can't cook that in 5 minutes. That's not a 5-minute grain.
No.
Unless you put it in a blender before you put it into the pan. That's a different story. Then you
So, Nikki, what have you got coming up?
Okay, so the Imperial Court of Toronto currently has a online auction that you can go to at www.32auctions.com/rain35winter. So it's our winter auction. It's full of jewelry. So hit that up. All proceeds are going towards PWA, the People with AIDS Foundation, and Rainbow Railroad here. So please support that. And you have until December 16th, I believe, is when that ends. We have our Christmas show coming up December 11th, where the courts, the Diamond Courts and Cincinnati, our daughter court, are going to be a part of. So it's going to be a big, huge show. If you want to send in videos to that show, you can just go on our Facebook group. It'll tell you how to send them in. If you have any Christmas themed videos, we would love to put them up there. Just make sure that it's part of your email. The body of your email says your name, your rain number, if you're rating or not, and your title. But like your title, not like your title. We want like your title like today, not it's not
like,
title
the
years ago.
crystal winged and teal flamed and the
exactly.
Yeah.
If I read a ball and have to take a breath, it's too long.
No, exactly. I want it in 4 words. That's all you get.
Especially when you start throwing on ICB and PIP. And I don't know, a TIT. I don't know.
When they're abbreviations, that's fine. But when it's like, the summer solstice of the water princess of the realm to whom they
was like sister of this, half of this, brother to that. No one cares.
Yeah, you only do that at your step down. That's it.
Yeah.
Hi, Dawn. Dawn says hi, Savannah.
Dawn. Hi, Dawn.
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 Yeah, I
love her.
Oh, and in real life, I got a new job.
Oh, yay!
Yes.
And where are you working?
I'm going to be working at Red's Wine Tavern down in the financial district here in Toronto. I'm their new beverage manager.
Oh, amazing. That's super exciting.
Yeah, as of Monday. So I just received news of that on Tuesday. Signed my contract yesterday, and I start on Monday.
And what is a beverage manager?
A beverage manager is like the bar manager, so the one who does the bar schedule. But I also
orders.
I also like make sure that we have good wine and I can sell it and how I'm going to sell it, so I'm in charge of all of that. Very
nice. Okay, so just to switch back to Savannah, I saw you cutting up some green stuff. What was that you were cutting up?
Grass.
So what? You don't drink anymore? So you're gonna smoke it?
Yeah.
We're in Canada.
Wait.
You can say that in Canada.
Exactly. You'll appreciate this, Chantal. I have not started smoking, but I have discovered gummies when I'm like crazy from work or something. A friend of mine was like, just get gummies. They have them all over the place. So they look like little, like chewy, like lemon and orange flavored things. Oh, that's delightful. And it's weird. I mean, being someone that is and says they have recovered, I fought for a while with like, am I though? Now I'm like, am I taking this? And I said no, because one, there was no addiction. I'm not waking up every morning running to the dispensary and be like, I need this. But like I was telling to somebody the other day, the alcohol was the issue. I was waking up every single day and swigging 3 to 4 inches out of a Stoli raspberry bottle every single morning just to get through the day. I was like, this, if I have a bad day, I pop one. It's not all the time. And they're actually good. I love gummy candies. So it kind of works.
And THC and CBD are used for pain relief. They're used for mental issues. Nikki Chin, did you just do that?
What happened? What did she do? I missed it.
She picked up her puppy and put it up off the pot.
I wasn't going to put her in the pan. It's fine. I just wanted her to smell it so she knew what she was missing.
That's not how it looked like.
I didn't see dog on the recipe. God damn it.
No, this is supposed to be vegetarian.
Shit. Oh, but I will say, have you ever had a Wonka bar, the chocolate bars?
Yes.
So about a year ago, a girl at work was like, oh, I have these Wonka bar things. You want to have one? I said, absolutely. I love chocolate. Because my thing is, like, if I taste it, I won't do it. That's why I don't smoke it. I can't do a lot of things with it because can't. So I'm just watching it, some movie on Netflix or whatever. And I just had to have the Wonka bar. Ask mommy how much of it she ate.
How much did you eat, mommy?
The half. I ate half the bar. Oh, not knowing that apparently you're supposed to break it off by like.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's.
I woke up on the floor in the hallway. I felt like I was rolling down the hill. I started crying and screaming, I'm going to die. I thought this was natural. I'm now crawling to the bathroom. I made myself throw up and I was on the floor and I was like, this is punishment. I'm being punished. I don't know what. Yeah. I went to work the next day and they were like, you look like shit. I was like, I ate half the chocolate bar. Oh. Like, what? She goes, no, just the little pieces. I was like, well, you didn't tell me.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I wish I'd seen that.
Oh, yeah. And it was worse than any hangover. Now, I used to drink, bitch. No, it was worse than anything I ever. No, I was.
I've been to balls with you. I was with balls with you before. I know.
As a matter of fact, I was on the floor going, "I wish I was drunk," because no, it was so much worse.
Like I'm laughing, but it's actually not really a funny matter, especially for someone that's, you know, as someone who's a recovering alcoholic or someone who may have suffered from addiction of any kind.
Yeah,
like it's scary. So I'm sorry to laugh, but let's be honest, it's kind of funny too coming from you because
right. We did the math, her and I, and she's like, I think you had about 800 milligrams of. I was like, is that bad?
That's too much.
Yeah, you should probably have 50.
25, 50 at most.
I was like, yeah, that's probably too much.
Yeah. Now I've seen one cooking show, Cooking While High or something, where they actually specialize in microdosing throughout the meal. So you only get 1 or 2 milligrams, maybe a half milligram. But they spread it out so perfectly that by the end of the meal, you're a mess.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm chopping up Italian parsley, by the way. That's
so. And just so you know, I'm going to get so much trouble from Stephanie talking about this particular subject.
Well.
So Nikki, what's going on with you now?
So I added in. I was on mute. I was on mute the whole time. What's happening? Where am I? So my rice is like practically cooked, which means it's al dente, which means there's a slight crunch, but it's not fully cooked yet. So I just added in my thyme and my butter. So I'm still going to continue doing this, stirring this together. So I roasted my butternut squash prior to. So all I have to do is put it in the pan just to warm it up. It doesn't need to cook in the sauce. It doesn't need to do any of that because I don't want it to be the flavor of the risotto. I want it to have its own flavor. So when you get that bite of risotto with the butternut squash, you have both the flavors because you don't want to overcook this and you don't want it to color by the risotto.
It creates a complex flavor story, as we would say.
It's a story.
A story.
Earlier, I took my mushrooms, I sliced them up, and then I sauteed them with another shallot, with some garlic, with some butter. I use, you know what I use? Except instead of salt, I use sometimes beef bouillon.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
And it gives it a better flavor, like it's more robust than a salt. Especially with something like this, where you don't want to oversalt it. The second you oversalt this, it's destroyed. It's done.
Earlier you mentioned, Nikki, that you made your own vegetable stock. Can you give us a quick rundown on how that works?
So you literally just take what's in your fridge. So whatever is about to go bad. So generally it would be your regular, like your carrots, onion, celery. But if you throw like peppers in there or anything like that, like that's great too. So it's just that, a whole bunch of herbs. So normally like thyme, rosemary, sage, parsley, and then some lemon, and you put it in a massive pot and you fill it with water and you let it boil for like 10 hours.
Yep.
You let it you let it boil, then you let it simmer for about 10 hours, and all the flavors from the vegetables will come out, the herbs will come out, and then you put it through a sifter, which takes out all the chunks, and you just have a liquid, and you just store it in your freezer for whenever you need it.
Yeah.
Currently I have turkey stock, chicken stock, and I just use my vegetable stock.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to love making stock.
Oh yeah.
You do any rotisserie chickens at home? Do the same thing. I will never throw away the bones of a rotisserie chicken. I'll make some kind of stock, put it in the freezer.
Keep it. Exactly. And pro tip when it comes to actually making stocks, if you want to make stocks, put them in ice cube trays. So then if you're only making a small batch of something, or if you need to deglaze just one simple dish, obviously, then you can just use 1 ice cube or 2 ice cubes. You can measure it that way instead of thawing a whole jar of it and hoping that you're going to use it.
Correct.
Anyway, my risotto is all done. So I literally just I turned off the heat, and I'm going to add my cheese. And then so the reason why I turn off the heat and add the cheese is because you don't want the cheese to burn, and you don't want it to become this like elastic goop. You just want it to carefully kind of mix in with the liquid that's already in there. So just a different. So I'm using Parmesan cheese. So all of this everything that I'm using is lactose free and gluten free.
That's a great thing about Parmesan cheese is that I can't have anything lactose, and I was like, oh, I can have that because it's not.
Yeah, Parmesan cheese doesn't have lactose.
No,
it's very little.
It's like little. Yeah, it doesn't affect me at all. I can't have ice cream or milk or smooth, any kind of a liquid cheese sauces, but a hard cheese, usually I'm good.
Yeah.
But this, I'm perfect with.
Yeah, you just have to look at the what is that MF percent? It's like the milk fat percentage.
Oh,
And it's gluten-free too, so it's good on that end.
Well, that too, yeah.
nice.
No gluten.
No gluten.
No gluten.
None of the gluten. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna add my butternut squash. I'm gonna mix it together and then plate it.
Beautiful. And how far along are you, Savannah?
I'm letting the last bit of my stock absorb.
Mm-hmm.
So I went a little slower on it because I was chopping up the parsley.
Parsley.
You know what's gonna tick me off is I'm gonna watch you guys make this beautiful, beautiful dish, and then when we're done this, I'm taking off my crown and I'm gonna go boil some water and make a package of Mr. Noodles.
It's not a craft dinner night.
So okay.
I can't even go that far.
You're like, that's opening 3 things.
Yeah, exactly. It's just too much work.
No.
I tell a lot of my friends who, I mean, Chantal, no judgment towards you. I tell a lot of my friends who do that, who just like eat ramen, who don't really know how to cook. If you make ramen, because it's already there for you, like all you have to do is 2 cups of water, put the noodles in, put the seasoning, call it a day. But go in your fridge and see if there's anything else in there that maybe you like to put in there. Is there something fresh that's in your fridge that you'd like to put on top that makes it crunchy? And this is how you get the ball rolling of how to cook at home. And then later, then you won't need like the noodles. You can go grab the noodles itself and the seasoning separately, and then you can make it out. And then after that, you can make your own season. You can be like, oh, the seasoning's only this, and this. Okay, cool. Like it's all about the progress of it, right?
Yeah.
And I have seen some people, like I don't do it because I hate eggs, but I've seen some people throw in an egg.
Oh,
and
so
put
good.
in a boiled egg and slice it in half, and that kind of thing.
Slice up some leftover chicken or steak and like put pieces of broccoli, anything.
Leftovers.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Oh, right, you cook for 20 people. They say leftover bacon. I don't understand.
What's that?
I don't know. Someone said it to me once, and I don't know. I just assumed they were sick.
You're like leftover bacon. I'm sorry. Wait, what? I don't know.
We're not friends anymore. Yeah.
That's it. Out of my life. Well, we're not friends.
Or in which case, how much are you making that you have leftovers? How much?
Well, that too. Yeah.
I don't understand.
Pounds of it.
Yeah, pounds of it.
And now you fry in the pan, Chantal, or do you bake it? I bake mine so it stays flat.
I usually do it in the pan just because for me it just seems easier. I've done it in the pan before. What I really want to do is try to do it where you put over the brown sugar on top of it, make like the candied bacon.
It's delicious. Yeah.
So good.
You do that, brown sugar, a little maple syrup, and then a little cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I wonder why I can't lose weight.
Well, that's all right. When I cook with bacon, I save the fat in a little jar.
Better.
Oh, I just use. So there's mine.
That's so sexy looking.
Yes, come on, Squaw. I love butternut.
Come on, Squash. Oh, she's so pretty.
My favorite.
Yeah. Are you gonna let Jason have some?
No. So this is what it's done. Like I literally have this is 3 servings.
So
this is like another 3.
That is insane amount of rice. And is that like a normal like is that normally how much you would cook?
So you put the recipe up for a cup and a half. I use 2 cups.
Oh, I see.
So not even that much more.
Yeah, rice does kind of pop up.
And this was from one butternut squash. So that was like half of it. This is the rest of it. So you can use this for something else.
And then I love the time with the butternut squash because it just tastes like fall.
Oh yeah.
And then when I do my mushroom, I put a little touch of nutmeg in it.
Ooh, that's a pretty good idea.
So
now it's like butternut squash soup.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
actually, butternut squash soup last week with some tortellini in it and
the
sausage.
only reason I go to Toronto's Coronation is for the butternut squash soup. Certainly not for the people that are there. Like, are you happy to be back in Wuzzyland there, Nikki?
I am. I'm the secretary this year though, so like I'm still quite involved. And I can't wait to see what Rochelle and David do. They've been doing a great job so far with the couple months that they've been reigning. But but still, like Toronto, as you know, is still kind of in that, weary kind of place. And a lot of the bars need to make their money back before they can have like fundraisers there and whatever, right? Like there can only be so much that they can do for us with hopes that they'll make money from us. So luckily we have a couple places that we can do this all in and do our thing, but it's going to take time, but we're doing what we can, and we're keeping it going.
That's cool. We actually myself and Empress Monroe, we took the bus down a couple weeks ago to Toronto, and we got to have dinner with Becca and Jason Dixon, your emperor, not mine. And they were talking. They actually had some pretty good reviews about how the year is going, and they talked about the event that was coming up, which was Michelle Devereaux's birthday. Yeah, and we were there for that.
Yeah, I was there for it, and it was so amazing. We raised
online. That was so great.
We raised $3,000 for Michelle Devereaux that evening. She got a message from the Prime Minister. We had I think Morgan said 35 performers, and oh my gosh.
Oh, that looks so good. And you see like the big slices of Parmesan cheese on top.
Yeah.
So, hello, Connie Concepcion.
I love it. I love a good shaved arm.
Okay, so we have got beautiful, beautiful dishes. And is there anything you recommend serving with it, or you just eat it by itself, or what happens?
A good wine. You drink a really, really good wine, because it's very rich. It's a simple thing to make for date night. You want to impress someone, get them in the bed, make something like this. It's one of the simplest things. Just takes a little time, but it feels decadent. You know what I mean? It just feels like you've played for days, and But it is good with protein. It's good. It's great with scallops. Nice shrimp. It's great with shrimp. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to let you both go and enjoy this meal. You guys work so hard. I've enjoyed really talking with the both of you. I get to see Nikki in person. Savannah, I have not seen you in a couple of years. Will I see you in Connecticut in February?
I wouldn't. Wild horses couldn't keep you from Connecticut. You know that is my favorite ball of all time.
I cannot wait.
My favorite.
It probably is one of my favorite off the circuit.
It's going to be madness too, because I feel like that's the first one that we're all going to get to go to. So it's going to be foolishness. People are just going to be drunk, hanging off the chandeliers, rolling down the hallway naked. Yeah.
Sin Boy's going to be dragging his ass across the carpet again.
If I don't have one of your boobs in my mouth by Thursday morning, I'll be very upset.
Well, that boob might still be in Canada, so it'll be a little difficult.
But yeah, Connecticut, and we need to get Miss Nikki Chin to Connecticut too.
Oh, Nikki, you need to come to Connecticut.
I'm hoping that I can go to Connecticut this year. We'll see.
Oh, let me tell you, like, there is nothing like sitting around on a Thursday, because they don't do like their in and out of town thing. They just go into the hotel and they all get drunk, and Morgana gets drunk, and then that's when Morgana tells you how she really feels about you.
And then you go,
I love you, but
then you go in the pool.
I love
the amazing thing. I love it.
And then the hallways in Connecticut till 3 a.m, just laughing with your friends till you're like crying. It's just
always
a great ball. You leave there feeling like you're a part of a family. Here I do. Yeah.
Like, I really enjoyed Toronto. It was the first ball that I'd been to since the pandemic had happened. And it just meant, well, other than obviously our own coronation. Right. But like, I honestly, there's something about Connecticut that just warms my heart. I'm so excited for the Stepping Up Monarchs this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
You know, when you leave and you genuinely feel sad. I'm sad when I drive away from Connecticut.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. It's crazy. And then right after that is usually our ball, and then New York City, and then it's just Buffalo. Yeah.
True. Yeah. Okay, so I am going to let you both go now. Thank you so much for everything, and we will chat soon, and we'll see you in the back room.
Yes, we love you. Stay safe.
Thank you so much. I couldn't have done this without the two of you.
Oh my gosh, we had a blast. Thank you so much. I appreciate this.
Bye. Oh, that was wonderful. And honestly, they're going to get to go and eat those delicious meals, and I get Mr. Noodles. Okay. So one more time, I'm just going to remind everybody about our toiletry drive, the outerwear, non-perishable foods, coats. If you have any question about whether or not something can or cannot be donated, please reach out to me, reach out to Stephanie, or you can email waterfallempire@gmail.com or paypal.me/waterfallempire. Also want to remind you that Spin to Win is back. Go on. I'm doing something wrong here. Okay, that didn't work. So Spin to Win is back. There we go. So we have a private group. If you're interested in participating in Spin to Win, please reach out to our Empress, Nathan Drake, aka Shannon Unrau. Speaking of Shannon Unrau, congratulations on making it back to Canada. I know it was a little bit more of a adventure than you were expecting. But thank you to Empress Peggy and Emperor Don for passing off that relay and getting them back to us. Okay, and one more reminder: our December 18th is going to be our Blue Dream Christmas ICP ball. It will be a virtual ball. If you'd like to submit a performance, please send to waterfallempire@gmail.com. Please make sure when you're filming that you are filming in landscape. It just looks a lot better. It's a lot easier for us to upload. So that means turn your phones if you're using your phones. There'll be more information online. So normally at this time we would have a performance from our Empress Katana, but unfortunately she was not able to get us a video. So I'm going to put on a special performance because unilaterally I get to make that decision. So just give me one more. Here we. Okay, looks like that's not going to happen either. Okay, so I guess this is just our final goodbyes. So thank you so much for everybody for joining me this evening and joining Savannah and Nikki. We've really had a good time. I hope you learned some lessons on cooking. I hope you had some laughs, and hope you appreciated me being here, because I appreciated being here with you. So stay safe and have a good night.